Oh God, I'm running out of different ways to start these stories. I suppose I could go with something like this. Once upon a time, there was a majestic, keyboard-turning, mouse-ability-clicking paladin, adorned in only the finest paper armor, named Aaron. One unfortunate day, Aaron decided he wanted to go enjoy a leisurely 5 hours fishing in Eversong Woods. Why 5 hours specifically, you ask? Well, let's break down the math for you. It would take him a full hour to keyboard turn and mouse click his way out of his front door. Another hour to find his fishing rod in his bag and drag it to his main hand slot. A third hour, upon arrival at the fishing spot, to dismount and find a spot to sit. And then he would have 2 full hours to slowly rotate towards where he wanted to aim his rod and click the button so he could begin his Bass Pro Lite experience. So, you remember how earlier I mentioned it was an unfortunate day? Well, just as Aaron the Paladin had almost triumphantly completed his first rotation to face the fishing pond, a flaming, horned Vulpera skidded to a stop in front of him on top of his elf-shaped snowboard that was positively dripping in phoenix oil. Braden hurled his usual repartee at Aaron. Hopefully, by now, if you have been with this nonsensical series long enough, you can say it with me. Your mother was a murloc, and your father humped a tree. The small Vulpera, Braden, bellowed, as Aaron spent the next 2 minutes turning to face him directly. Aaron was so taken aback, all he could do was utter very confused dial-up modem noises in response. Braden, who was filled with rage at an earlier run-in with Bob, the handsome Tauren who inadvertently funded Braden's Phoenix oil monopoly, screamed at the poor paladin, "Listen, you absolute bellend. You're coming to tank this plus 37 Magister's Terrace for Tyler, and you don't get a say." Aaron the Paladin attempted to protest by loosing a stream of polite dial-up modem noises back, but Braden was having none of it. Braden grabbed 75 Phoenix oils he was hiding in his tactical Phoenix oil utility belt and pelted Aaron the Paladin with them until he was saturated down to his button-clicking soul. Then, Braden grabbed Aaron and threw him on the ground beside Melvin, whom he had also kidnapped, and used them as skis to slide all the way to Magister's Terrace. Aaron could only utter some very sad-sounding dial-up modem noises as the trio built up speed and began to slide recklessly through the woods and onto the streets of Silvermoon. A lone Death Knight, with a toe-warming, ever-present fire puddle from on high, shouted, "I am the carry," and attempted to death-grip the group. This just ended up causing him to be dragged along behind them like some sort of strange water skier with fire puddles and lubed-up human skis. Yes, that is perhaps the most apt way to put this. As the now 4-man-sized group gained momentum and shot through Silvermoon towards the Isle of Queldanas, they made a direct collision with Bob, the very handsome, possibly the most handsome, Tauren healer, and turned into a giant, rolling ball of flesh, fur, phoenix oil, and fire puddles. This, however, would not stop Braden, who was now frothing at the mouth and managed to wriggle free to the top of the rolling, living ball of his allies. Braden took control and steered them the only way he could, with a lot of phoenix oil and the willpower to use them all as a living treadmill. It wasn't long until the group reached Magister's Terrace, and well, if you watched the other videos, you all know how that ended.